try to do weird shit nobody's seen before, and what I come up with is stupid. But what Zergring comes up with is
smart.
top tier.
Well, he is a nuclear engineer, so he's got a big old brain.
You want to start this one off?
Sure, starting up in the top right corner, fresh off his 1.5-0 victory against Fahrenheit, we have GNR's LiquidSolo.
And in the bottom left here, we have a guy who doesn't play very often. GNR's Zergring. I'm excited. I know he and Nat have been working together on getting their builds nice and crispy, so I'm excited to see what he's got in store.
Yeah, we do have a gas first, and the Rax is really delayed.
Ooh, is he proxying?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
just a single Rax so far. So I know these two players have played before in tournaments, and I know Solo has complained about some proxy marauder shenanigans, but I don't think that's what we're going to have here, because usually you'd have 2 barracks minimum. I think this probe from Solo might scout.
Definitely gonna come into contact with it.
Yeah. I think the barracks will finish though.
Oh, RNG.
Wow, that's rough RNG right there. Look at that.
RNG.
I can feel the frustration.
It's just sitting there. Sometimes it finishes on the opposite side, but it just stayed.
Yeah. So
we're gonna have a factory at home.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wanted to build that factory at home, but he has to now, at least.
Solo got a Zealot out. Gateway, Cybercore.
Yeah, the Zealot is the correct thing to do against a proxy Reaper, just because.
Just the attention of the Reaper?
Yeah, just because if you don't get that first, then the Reaper can kill like 2 or 3 probes, or if your micro's not perfect. So you can tell Solo's playing. He knows what his opponent is trying to do.
We're gonna get a bunker behind the mineral line here. Maybe not. Ooh, by the ramp.
Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna finish. Yeah, it cancels that right away.
Took care of the probe as well.
Run, Reaper!
Not gonna make it. Got a couple. One Marine being chased by a Zealot. Couple stalkers coming to clean that up.
So what do we have going on this game? Zergring actually has no fighting units on the map right now.
Production.
What was this, a Cactus Cup match?
Yeah, we're casting a replay.
Don't think that a Cyclone beats 2 Stalkers and a Zealot, but I could be wrong. Lock-on is a strong ability.
It can, especially with a wall, but I'm not sure if the micro will be perfect there. But, ooh, locks onto the probe. That's actually a kind of big mistake to start. Gonna need to send a few SCVs to repair that wall.
Zealot gets blocked by its own Stalkers, can't get out of the way.
Yeah. And yeah, there you can see just that single Cyclone's able to push all those units away.
Terran.
Am I right? Oh, Cyclone upgrade.
Mag fields coming up. Viking. Solo's natural almost finish up here. Couple of tickle fights. Might lose a Stalker.
Ooh, the bushes saved him there, but I think they are gonna lose at least one of them. Yeah.
You're in the bushes.
I gotta say, I think Solo has mind gamed himself a little bit, just because he went for like the two gate expand. His economy could be quite a bit farther ahead right now had he gone for a more normal expansion, but right now he's just very slightly ahead. Because Zergring has actually finished up a second command center, and this is more or less looking like a pretty standard macro game.
Ooh, maybe not going concussive shells first. Is that normal?
Well, no. I mean, you're right. I guess I say it's normal in that there's one factory, one starport, 3 barracks, but
Sure. But you know,
Liberator,
often-
Cyclone, Marauders, not very standard.
I would have loved to have seen Solo do something with those stalkers in that warp prism, knowing that Cyclones were in the front, maybe doing some, well, lock on, you could lose it, but
Yeah,
I
it's
just
a little
feel-
scary to do with the Cyclones. But
I
you're right,
retract
just
my
pure,
previous statement.
pure units wise, Solo had been out in front for a decent amount there.
Observer gonna scout what's going on here. Sees a lot of Cyclones.
Yeah, Stalkers are actually pretty garbage against Cyclones as long as they don't have Blink, which we don't have Blink this game. Once you get Blink, you can trade out pretty well. So, see how the micro goes here. This Zergring, is he gonna lock onto the Stalkers?
Ooh, does not.
Yeah, no lock-ons used there, but no units lost for either side either. So,
Solo ahead by 10 probes, but mules.
if Solo wants to be super swag, we could see some pickup micro with the prism to break the
Lock
break
on.
the lock-ons. Yeah, but that's tough to do.
Gotta stay far enough away so the warp prism doesn't get locked on.
Exactly.
No real definite. Oh, we're getting some charge here, but I don't really see any definite tech here from Solo. What he wants to do.
Yeah, he's going to be adding on some extra gateways now, and I think he's just going to be playing relatively gateway heavy, which is definitely his style, but I think it actually will do okay against this
Just
mech comp.
some mech and some marauders. Scan here in Solo's base. Zergring knows what's going on. Maybe like to see a third command center, but again, I don't play Terran or Protoss, so
Oh yeah, there definitely should have been a third probably by this point in a more standard game. I think at this point, the longer Zergring waits, the less likely he is to be able to pull out a victory, because Solo supply is probably about to start exploding here in just a minute.
disruptors.
Yeah, Disruptor is a decent choice against Cyclone. You get some crazy value out of that. So Zergring's macro actually been pretty good this game. He's spending all his money pretty well. He's got full 2-base saturation, getting some upgrades. Hasn't been supply blocked too much. Unfortunate move out timing with these zealots warping in the main. Looks like he doesn't want to turn around yet, so it looks like he's just going to go for it on the other side of the map. Lock-on's killing a lot of stalkers really quickly. Stim getting in there pretty quick. Super battery has been used. Oh, this disruptor shot! Oh, that's pretty huge.
Big disruptor shot as well as 17 SCVs going down in the main.
Yeah, I think those two things might end up being the story of this game.
71 probes to 29 SCVs.
It's actually looking pretty scary at the third for a second there for Solo, but
Again, would love to see a fourth. We're oversaturated it and still making probes. Loves to hit the E key.
yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely playing a little, You don't necessarily need a fourth when you know the Terran's still on 2 base, but by the same token, you don't need the extra probes either. So
I just think too the amount of vision he had the observers everywhere. He kind of knew he's in a great spot.
I don't know if you saw that, but Zergring tried to scan on top of his Doom Drop he was picking up to make sure it wasn't
They only had
spotted.
Marauders.
Yeah. Well, he missed the observer by like a millimeter. It was right outside there. So Solo knows exactly where this drop is, and he's gonna intercept it. Maybe. Kills one medevac.
Some stalkers in the main. The recall.
Oh, this disruptor. Oh god.
Another. Oh wow. Oh wow.
I'm nutting.
I'm nutting. Those were some
like,
hot disruptor shots.
good game from Solo there. I think the that warp in timing was really good. That one observer from Solo at the natural, I think,
Never died.
was there all game, and that's
Never
probably that one observer's the MVP. I'd say probably.
Yeah, what you said about the, you know how you said it was really unfortunate with the timing? It's because I saw his army leave. That's why I whooped him. Yeah.
I realized that later. After I realized, I was like, that's the same observer from the beginning of the game.
All right, game number 2.
Romanticide. I've noticed too a lot of players, at least in our group, played on the older maps, or tried to. And the third map usually being one of the newer ones.
I don't think I've seen any Blackburn or Beckett.
Because they're horrible maps, that's why.
Yeah, they're not my favorite. Beckett's pretty Terran favorite in every matchup, so I'm surprised none of the Terrans have picked it, but I guess we don't have too many Terrans.
House Peddler picked it, didn't he? Or was it Blackburn?
He picked Blackburn. So we did have one Blackburn game.
Where are we starting?
Wherever you want to, Mitch. You're in
Alright,
control.
we'll start in the bottom right. Spawning in the bottom right, our red Protoss player, LiquidSolo.
And in the top left corner, having his plans foiled a little bit that last game, I believe, we do have GNR Zergring.
Do we expect to proxy something again? We got gas first, SCV going out.
Yeah, I think whatever he was going to try to do last game, he's going to try to do it again, because I can't tell exactly what he was trying, but I think since the probe scouted it and he had to like lock in his SCV, he didn't get to build this factory out in the middle of the map. So I think whatever his plan was in game 1, he's probably going to try again.
Barracks is down. Second refinery.
I wonder if it's like double proxy factory or something like that.
So
I have
as a
seen them
Protoss,
before.
are you expecting another proxy? What's your game plan? Are you just playing standard?
Yeah, so when you see that there's a proxy, you're first afraid of like 4 racks and a SCV pull, but then you see the double gas, so you know it's going to be something pretty tech heavy.
I mean, Solo with the eyeballs, just going right to this thing.
Yeah, his scouting is unbelievable. Must be a map hacker.
He went right to it the first game, and he went right to it the second game. BS.
My personal, I still go for the 1-gate expand, and then I go into 2-gate robo, but that works for trap. It doesn't really work for me that well. I'm just not good against 1-base Terran, but Solo opting for the second gateway again, which is the second gateway is very good against Proxy Marauder, but usually Proxy Marauder's only single gas.
Reaper going home. In a Marine follow-up.
Yeah, pretty interesting decision there.
In a bunker, we expect, I guess, the same thing. 2 stalkers coming up. You just want to be prepared.
I think he poked his head in and saw the Nexus was late and is expecting an all-in or something from Solo, but in fact, instead it was just the Solo went for the... He went for 2 gates before Nexus. Looks like he canceled one of them and got the Nexus instead, so the timing was a little late. I'm not exactly sure what's going through Zergring's head, but he's playing very defensive right now.
Going reactor this time. Maybe mines?
Certainly could be mines or Hellion drop is also a possibility. Looks like mines.
Window memes. Gonna float the barracks back home.
A little bit of supply block there for Zergring, which is unfortunate because that medevac is going to be quite delayed.
I'd like to see one of those 3 supply depots be a command center, but I don't know what we're going for here.
I'm not entirely sure if Zergring knows what he's going for either.
Almost losing the adept.
Get in the bunker! Oh. I don't think Solo saw any of those mines, but probably not too hard to guess what it was.
Might get scouted here.
Oh, sneaks out. Solo definitely saw the factory on the reactor though, so he should be prepared either for a Widowmine drop or a Hellion drop.
Nothing but observers coming from the robotics facility.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. Should be probably starting a Colossus here and dropping a 3rd base around the same time. And he's in position with some stalkers here.
Medevac just kind of sitting there. Oh, we're microing back home.
Yeah, that was a good trade there for Zergring, but probably not much of a game changer. I think he should have just dove with that medevac. He backed out, but 3 stalkers is not enough to 2-shot a medevac. You need 4 stalkers. So he would have been able to unload the mines.
And they've moved. He had about 10 seconds of them being away.
Yeah.
Getting his natural setup. Observer, hero observer, just in the main, scouting everything. Got combat shields first this time, instead of concussive shells or stim.
Yeah, looks like he's building tanks this game as well.
No add-ons to the starport. Supply blocked again.
Oh, little 2-tank move out. Now, if he controls this well, he's going to have a pressure at the front, a Liberator at the natural, and Widow Mines for the main. Could be pretty devastating if he gets in a good position. Maybe it builds a bunker or 2. I don't think Solo knows exactly that this is coming out because his observer was in the main instead of at the natural this time. Could depend on this disruptor. Oh, that's a pretty good hit. Tanks do siege though. This 3rd is going to be under a good bit of pressure.
Bunker going down. Here comes the Liberator from the top. Love to see that mine drop go in.
So first disruptor shot hits both the tanks, takes them down really low. The stalkers clean them up there. Liberator getting work done in the natural in the meantime, but the army has pretty much been cleaned up. 6 probes go down, but that's not going to be enough to swing the game, I don't think. Again, some nasty disruptor shots out of Solo there.
Broken unit. Took those tanks down to quarter health.
Yeah, if not less. Widowmine's still not actually able to do anything, although he's going to finally drop here at the 3rd. He gets 1 down. Ah, that's it. Gets a couple more probes, but game is looking good for a Protoss hero, I believe. Got Stalker
Yank,
Disruptor. I guess we're playing a PvP.
love to see a medevac or two.
Does he have stem? He doesn't have stem, actually, so. Just now
Lots of
starting it.
barracks going down.
I think we're about 1 or 2 good Disruptor shots away from a victory here.
Liberator and tanks sieging up.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to push up that ramp without Blink. Blink has started, but it's not going to be done for a little while.
Also, would like to see a warp prism here. No way to back up this army. Kind of peeking for a third base, maybe over those minerals.
Yeah, I think he could probably guess from the army positioning that there is not a third up there yet, but he's going to send an observer over there to check. It's pretty hard to bust up that ramp with those 3 tanks up at the top. So. Plus, he probably doesn't realize that Zergring doesn't have stim yet.
Probably about 15 seconds away from that. Again, just more liberators, no medevacs. Got a warp prism coming up. Top.
Yeah. Oh, he misses the observer again by inches. Disruptor, okay, not too bad.
Here comes the second.
Oh, much worse.
Tank siege. Here comes
Yeah,
that fourth base I've been begging for.
There is no third CC on Zergring's side of the map, so he is pretty much all in with this set of units right here. Gonna need to find a way to make something happen, but he's down 35 supply, and there are disruptors out. And again, solo with the warpins in the main.
Cleaned up a lot better this game.
Yeah, also there is no charge this game, so. Again, we've got that hero observer just watching the army come and go.
Solo electing for no upgrades. Zergring has +1.
Yeah, we're about to have the +1 11, the 11-minute +1 timing, which is classic Solo. Of course,
Dropping some Stargates.
who needs upgrades when you're just building disruptors, right?
Right. Kills everything it touches. Of course, when I play Protoss and try to use them, I just end up running them into the other person's army and killing them all.
Yeah. This is a decent army here from Zergring, and charge is not done, so if he gets some good tank shots, liberator shots, he might be able to hold here. Well, that was rough engagement for Solo there. Loses a couple disruptors and several stalkers.
Got a drop going into the main as well. Gonna do some alright damage here.
For sure. Will be cleaned up eventually, but I think
We gotta stop clumping these tanks. Great disruptor shot.
moving the liberators forward now.
Taking some notes here for when I play Terran. Do not clump tanks. Oh, what a liberator. Disruptor shot.
Yeah.
Finally seeing some medevacs here with the main army.
It started out as a pretty scary push there from Zergring, and he got a couple decent engagements, but over time I think the disruptors are probably going to shift this in the way of a victory for Solo.
Oof.
Got a 100 supply advantage at this point. Yeah, that's GG.
Man, I tell you what, switching to Protoss, seeing those disruptor shots, and the ones you were putting on before this, good night.
It was pretty juicy.